Oh my God, we've been robbed.
They did us a favor. They took the doors and windows off. What nice people. Welcome back to Good Living Alaska. So today marks the first day of salvaging some of the windows and some of the doors out of this abandoned cabin. Now, the reason why we're salvaging these is, like we told you last time, we were salvaging it for the chicken coop that we plan on building. And it's just nice to have some metal doors. I mean, they're nice metal doors. The framing may have a little bit of issues here and there, but nothing like a little bit of glue and love can help patch that together for a chicken coop. So we're not too worried about that. It's a chicken coop door in the first place. We also want to salvage the vehicle out here, the Toyota Camry that we have. We want to get that back to our house. And we want to get the trailer operational, so that way we can load up and haul out some of the junk out of here from there. As far as the Airstream, we do have somebody's interested in it, and we are hoping that we'll be able to continue to go through. And if that doesn't work out, then there's always storage in its future use, because it still wouldn't be a bad use of storage for cleaning equipment and stuff like that when prepping for this RV campsite. All right, so one of the first things I wanted to do is I wanted to check and see what exactly the foundation is made of. What I wanted to see was whether or not the beam is made out of concrete under here. And what I mean by that is if it has, like, you know, the concrete cylinder that goes down into the ground and then the beam is set on top of that. I don't think it is, but I've never actually checked. So we're going to undo the base around the cabin here and see what's under there. Now, it looks like they put insulation around it, which that's good to see. All right. Holy moly. All right, well, there we go. All right, so this is the foundation right here. That's what we're dealing with. All right, well, I honestly had a feeling that this was going to be the case. So he used utility poles to put the foundation up on. Really not a bad option. It would last, I mean, decades. I mean, these utility poles, I think these are probably the old creosote ones. They're creosote, I believe that's how it's pronounced. That black tar they used on these utility poles, it lasts a long time. But yeah, that's not going to work long term for us. You know, originally I thought maybe I could keep the foundation, build something on top of it, but yeah, that's not going to work. So, which is fine, because that all changed once we changed our plans anyways. So I am glad. What we are doing is renting an excavator to come tear out all this, and I'm going to tear out everything. I'm just going to tear it all the way down to the ground, flatten it off, and make sure that I leave the septic access alone and not damage that. Obviously, that's my goal. We're going to tear it down. Now, this foam and stuff like that, it looks perfectly fine. There's no mold on it. It's actually a mold-resistant, bug-resistant type of foam. And so I might end up using that in the chicken coop too. I mean, I'm just looking for like spare parts at this point. Tearing it up, trying to discover what's in it. And that actually could work for a base layer for the floor base, that is, of a chicken coop. Perfectly fine with that. Very, very simple to add a little bit of heat for those chickens. I know the last chicken coop that I built, it was a little bit colder. So when it comes to keeping that chicken coop warm, it was actually reliant upon the composting of the straw and the chicken's waste down there, and it would actually warm up the chicken coop and provide a little bit of heat. Now, all chicken coops can have that ability per se, but with this new one, since we're in a colder area, where we're living is colder, so we want to kind of make sure that we can provide a little bit more heat, a little bit more insulation for them. So this foam insulation is going to be great for the base layer, because I mean, it only goes around the main portion of this cabin, which is probably just enough to do the base of the chicken coop, and then I can buy some insulation for the walls. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of salvageable here going on. Most of the chicken's heat is going to come from their hay that we're going to use anyways, or the straw or the hardwood chips. But yeah, this will be great for the insulation of the base of a chicken coop. All right, well, I'm going to continue, and we're going to tear up the rest of this and salvage this foam. Now that I know there's foam down there, I'm going to salvage that foam and use that in the base of our chicken coop. I think that's great. Save a little bit of money on that just because it's really easy to get to and it's mold and insect resistant. It'd be perfect. Honestly, this might be useful too, this board. Oh. It is pressure treated. I could use it underneath to hold up the insulation underneath the structure. Just so you know too, this thing has spiders all over it. Every time I move the board, there's like spiders crawling out. Look at daddy long legs everywhere, crawling out. And that's not the only type of spiders there are. There's a bunch of different kinds over here. I don't even know what they are. I know there's not a whole lot of poisonous ones here in Alaska, but still, if you got arachnophobia, this will do it in for you right here. So this here is a fireweed. Look at the determination of this fireweed. It goes through the crack there and then straight down. There's where its roots are. That's some growth determination. Now that I got the front face, I'm gonna see if this thing even has concrete in here. I think it's just buried just directly in. Yeah. Oh wow. That is just utility pole buried in the ground. I mean, not uncommon like what they do for the utility poles. It's just foundation of a house is all. I'm thinking definitely not a long-term situation, but this house doesn't look very long-term anyways. Kind of crazy. All right, well, it started raining, so we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get this old Toyota home. All right, so this is a little beater car that we had gotten for like 500 bucks when we first moved here. We're gonna make sure that it still runs, and I need to check the oil because I know it had like a little bit of an oil leak issue. And usually I use this for going to work during the summertime. So it's been a good little vehicle, and I used it during the winter as well because right now it still has the studded tires on it. So I'm gonna go to make sure it still works and check the oil on it real quick. Make sure we can get it home because we want to go ahead and get this thing home. Oh. All right, well, it still turns on. Let's go ahead and check the oil real quick. Trying to get what we can done because it rains a lot during this season. So whatever we can get done, it's for the best here. All right, well, we are good on oil too. The problem it does have is it's out of coolant, so I need to check to see if I have any in the vehicle here. Okay, pre-diluted. I forgot that this was one of the issues that we have with this too, is it eats up coolant, so it's definitely got a head gasket leak, which I think is the issue. Hopefully I'll be able to make it all the way home without an issue. I might stop by O'Reilly's. Just turn her back on here. All right, well, we're gonna see if we can get this home without an issue. I'm gonna probably stop by O'Reilly on my way out, so that way I can make sure we have enough in case we have an issue. It seems to be okay. All right, we got it. All right, got it home, no issues. These steers didn't get any safer when I've been gone, so let's keep going. All right, I guess I left this unlocked. That's good. So I can definitely tell that the second floor is definitely a lot newer just by looking at the wood and everything in it. So the things that we've decided we want to salvage that's up here is the doors, because the doors are metal doors, and these windows up here, especially that one and that one right there. I think those will be good windows to salvage for use in a future chicken coop build. I mean, windows aren't necessarily cheap nowadays, and that isn't really going to be that big of a deal. Shouldn't be too hard to get these out. Another thing we want to salvage here is this old radio here. I'm kind of curious if it works. I'm going to take it home and we'll plug it in and see if this thing works. But first we got to get it downstairs, and the boards on the stairs here are very old. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way down and get this down. One of the things we want to do is we want to get this power disconnected. So I did call, I got them to disconnect the main, but I want to go ahead and make sure that the cords aren't attached to this power pole here, because I don't want to cause any damage to any of this while we're tearing down the cabin. So first thing first, I'm gonna get this undone. And I usually just double check, want to make sure. We do have some power coming here. As you can see, there's always, I think, that neutral power maybe coming in, but nothing to our main. I tapped it, but as you can see here, there's obviously that neutral power coming in there, letting us know that it's on, and if we wanted to call, we could call and get it turned back on. But I don't want to do that. I want to get it disconnected, so we're going to disconnect it. All right, we're going to go in and start ripping stuff off the walls. So I kind of want to keep this window here because it actually does work. As you can see, works just fine. It'd be nice to keep it. Might be useful for a chicken coop. Free window, you know? Windows are so expensive nowadays. My thoughts are keep what I can. The only things that are really usable in here, like I said before, are the doors, the windows, and maybe a couple pieces of plywood to build a temporary shelter for like the pigs. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start tearing the windows and the doors out here. Now the door frames up here are kind of interesting because they're just really makeshift door frames is all it is, just homemade door frames. So with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and take the doors right off. All right, let's see if we can get this window out. Gonna grab my sawzall. Be right back. Got it. Definitely see here how if you don't use the tape, the damage starts happening right here. You see here how it seeps in? What is that DAP tape that they use for window frames? So up here on the second floor, there's also this window here in the corner. I actually really like this window. I mean, I like the way it's designed. You just drop down. It drops right down. I don't know, I like that design. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, and the best part is you can do this. If that thing doesn't scream chicken coop window, I don't know. I'm curious if I can use this because it's a lot newer. I wouldn't really waste my time saving all this if it wasn't for the fact that the wood is still pretty good. I'm obviously not saving everything in here. I'm just saving a couple of pieces that if they come out easy, then they get saved. Since this is all fairly new wood, I think it'll work just fine for the temporary pig fence. As you can tell just by looking out back here, winter is coming quick. And winters in Alaska, even though we are further south, can be kind of intense. They can be really cold. But usually around here, it doesn't get below -20, except for maybe for 1 week out of the year, which honestly is warmer than where we used to live, which was Wisconsin. We used to live in Wisconsin, and that was -50 for like a week. It's crazy. But yeah, the only thing we usually deal with up here is a lot more snow. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Obviously, we have our snow plow. Yeah, we're going to get these extra parts, and it'll be useful for the pigs. I'm not building them a walk-in for me. It'll be a walk-in for them. It's just temporary. It's just going to be up on what used pieces I can get here, and then fill it in, and then have a whole bunch of hay in there. So that way they can stay dry out of the wind and out of the snow, and that way they can stay nice and warm. It says happiness is below 50 in Alaska. It's like one of the first things I noticed whenever we first got this cabin. Sentimental value. Now, I'm thinking this storage thing, I'm sure it's just like a cheap, maybe $75, $50 storage rack, but I'm going to take it because I can use it outside. It's plastic, it's not going to rust, and I'm sure it could probably be useful in one of the shelter logics. It's been screwed in though, so I'm going to unscrew it real quick. Look at this. Instant mashed potato flakes. Anybody hungry? Oh, what is this? Oh, it's an alarm clock radio. Oh. I guess I'll take it. That's a nice one too. Hopefully it works. So the last window that I want to get is the one that's up here. It actually is a perfect little light for the chickens. I mean, I know it's painted over, but once we scrape all the paint off, it'll be a perfect little light in the upper portion of the chicken coop. The way I'm going to face the chicken coop is the same way where the sun is. So in Alaska, the sun isn't going necessarily up and over and up and over like it does in the south. The way it does is it kind of goes in an arc. So if I'm standing at the house, or let's say I'm standing at the back porch, it'll kind of start like this and run across. And then it gets lower and lower during the winter, and where it barely peeks up over the trees, barely. And that's going to be their light. Their natural light. There will obviously be LED lights for them, but I'm going to see if I can't get that out. That was much faster. The other way was not working. So this breaker here is just a load breaker, an indoor load breaker, which actually might work out good for a cabin. And it's a newer version of them in the first place. So I was like, well, I might as well just keep it. I mean, why waste it? It's a good indoor load breaker. I mean, It's only dealing with a couple different lights. It's exactly what I'll do with the cabins. I mean, I plan on having like a coffee and water station and lights, and that's it. Lights and TV, and those are the only two. So that's perfect. I'll just take this with me. All right, there you go. Maybe good for another use. All right, so one of the things I definitely want to take is this front door here. It's going to end up being the front door to our chicken coop when we do our chicken coop. And it is a metal door, so it's actually in really decent shape. I would say very good shape in compared to the rest of the doors around this place. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to use this door, and I think it's going to work out great. First, we got to get it taken off. A piece of trim was just screwed in. There you go. All right, that's a perfect chicken coop door. I actually think they bought that new when they first did this house. The reason why I say that is because all the pieces looked relatively newer than all the other doors. I think some of them are like salvage doors, the salvage for this place. And then this one here, I think was the new one. It makes sense because the door looks relatively good other than the fact that it was broken into at one point. As you can see from this, it was kicked in. But that metal door held up real nice. There's no dents or dings on that. Replace that door handle that's messed up on it. Should be good to go. Now that we got the door out, I'm going to take a small coffee break. Very tiny, because we got to get back to work. A lot to do. Instant coffee is still coffee. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. I think I'm gonna take that window. That window is the same window as the one that was above it. The one that I kind of like where it latches, you can lift it out. I think that'd be a pretty good chicken coop window, just so I can remove them if I need to very easily. So I think I'm gonna take that window. I think the front two windows, they're kind of very, even though all the windows are mostly wood windows, the front window has like this turn in kind of thing, and I'm not interested in dealing with that or trying to figure out how to flush that to the side of a building. I want some just nice square stuff going on here. And there's a little back door that's made of wood. I think I'll take that as well, just in case I need it. I mean, worst case scenario, right? We have a dump, we have a free web page. I mean, people love stuff free on Marketplace. So basically we'll be ready to go. Next step would be to start tearing down the cabin with an excavator. I probably should have just burned this place down, honestly. I did talk to authorities and they said you could burn it down, but I wanted to do it safe. I don't want to catch my woods on fire. So anyways, that's why we're renting an excavator. So these pieces here, I'm just going to be using for the base layer of the pig pens, just because it's OSB. I'm going to paint it. And again, it's just going to be temporary, so it should last just fine for this year. That way next year we can build them a new pig pen. We just need something temporary since winter's hitting so fast here. That one was a whole lot easier. So I'm not trying to waste too much time, but I do want to see if I can take this metal sink here. I was thinking, well, it might be a good addition for maybe like a fish washing station in the future. I don't know. Anyways, I just thought, well, if it's easy to take out, I'll take it out. And if it's not, then we'll forget about it. Perfect. Waste not, want not, right? There we go. It really wasn't that hard. Didn't even take me, but how long did that take me? 6 minutes. That's worth the time. Easy peasy. I'm really not sure about this door, but we'll take it just because it's a solid wood door. So that's why it's not one of them hollow doors. I mean, it is solid. I'm thinking if it just had a little bit of sanding, because it looks like whatever the varnish or whatever that's on there is just kind of flaking off. Maybe if I just repainted it or resanded it and painted it, it might be good. That thing is heavy. All right, well, if you haven't noticed in the background, it's constantly raining. We're doing the last steps here of what we can do to salvage. And one of the things I decided to also salvage is these heaters here. Now, these are natural gas heaters. And even though I won't have a use for them at my house, that doesn't mean I don't have a use for them at cabins in the future. I'm not 100% sure how much they cost, but I imagine they're not cheap. Mainly since they're one of the main things that you need while you're living in Alaska is to have a heater of some sort. And natural gas heaters, well, they're very efficient for what they are. And so we're going to take this one off and salvage it. Yeah. This one actually looks pretty new, too. I mean, newer. I have no idea. It's been disconnected, though. So we're going to...
You using that?
What was that?
Nothing.
Nothing. I heard something.
How's this thing up there?
Oh, I see. It's coming out of the drywall. Because it's barely on there. It's just on drywall.
Weird.
That's funny. I didn't even have to take that off. That was not hard at all. That was easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like, that's just a noon.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's not even in there. What the deal? Uh-oh. So this is the same brand. I'm assuming the same thermometer that goes with it. So I'm going to take this off the wall too. All right. All right, so another thing we will definitely be grabbing is this washer and dryer. Not sure if they work or not, but we need to get them out of here because when we excavate this thing, I don't want to have to pull them out and deal with them as well. All right, well, there it is. Got some walls taken off here. There's a bunch of old stuff in here that we're not going to use. And that's it on the bottom floor. Washers and dryer are gone. Sink is gone. So one thing I wanted to check, just to make sure there's nothing down here real quick. Again, even though I've been down there once. Yeah, I'm not sure what all that is down there. But I don't want to go down there. There's a lot of mold down there. A root cellar in this area is not a good idea in the first place. There's a high water table out here. I mean, even the well is only like 60 feet. So there's really no need for a root cellar in this area. It just doesn't work. As you can see down there, it's super moldy and extremely wet down there. So definitely not interested in a root cellar. So we'll be filling that in. I think they left the dirt right over here on the side that they dug up. So I'll end up using an excavator to get rid of that. And this is the upstairs. I think we did the most upstairs. It had all the good windows and it had the good doors, and well, other than the front door. And then it had that wall there, which I think I can use. All in all, it only took me about a day and a half to knock all this out, which really wasn't that bad. I salvaged a lot of stuff. Only the high value stuff is what I went after. Hopefully I'll find good use of it in the future. But otherwise it'll be good to get rid of this cabin. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just really, really nasty out here and it needs to kind of go. That way we can make room for future development and hopefully get these RV sites set up. Hopefully we can figure out our RV locations while we have the excavator and kind of dig that out and flatten out the area, get rid of stumps and such. And then next year we'll bring in rock and bring in pads and actually put in the electric and the water. So we'll see what happens from there on. All right. So as another one of those things we wanted to salvage, the Airstream. So we're going to try to sell the Airstream, and I'm supposed to meet with somebody here today. Now all the tires are filled up except for this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fill it up and see if it fills up. This Airstream has been sitting here for a long time, so hopefully it'll fill up just fine. All right, so I got that battery and portable air compressor here. Well, let's see if it fills up. Hopefully it will. All right, we're having some success. All right, so the trailer is actually one of our salvage items, and one of the things I need to do to it is get it a new lift, because the lift that it's on there, it's really, really not that good. I have a hard time getting it to come up and come down, and the lift that I found on Amazon here, it's a 5,000 pound capacity, which should do this no problem at all. It has a drill attachment just like my main trailer, the covered trailer. So we're gonna go ahead and get that attached here real quick. All right, so I got my subcompact here and I got the extension here. We're gonna undo these bolts and get it changed out. That's not too bad. This one's a lot shinier. Oh, that's pretty cool. An extra extension. All right, now we're going to give it a test here. I think it holds the weight just fine. Let me go get the drill and see how the drill does. All right, and so we have the drill now. This is the one I'm always using on the trailer, the enclosed trailer. All right, so that's perfect. So now I'm going to be able to take that home with me and be able to easily get it up and down, because that was one of the issues we were having, was trying to figure out how to get the truck underneath it in order to get it lifted up. So I had to bring out a car lift to actually lift it up high enough for the truck to get under it, and that was a pain in the butt. But now we got this lift, is going to be perfect. And the other lift, I already have a friend who wants that one, so we're going to go give him that. So other than that, we're going to be able to take this home, and it'll be a future project. We're going to renovate it, but that's down the road. We got to take care of our pigs and our chickens next. Winter is coming, and I want them to be comfortable and warm.
Oh my God, we've been robbed.
They did us a favor. They took the doors and windows off. What nice people. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed that. It was a lot of work to get everything out of there and to save and salvage those windows and those doors. But
You did a good job.
I'm glad we're done with it, yeah.
Yeah,
All
Blake
right.
worked really hard. So
Yeah.
The roosters should have a really nice coop coming up.
Well, that and the pig pen.
And the pig pen. Yeah, they're going to be spoiled when it's all said and done.
Yep. All right. Well, next week we actually got the excavator. You can see it right there. And that is going to be next week.
It's
tearing
going to
down the
be
cabin.
so exciting. It's going down.
All right. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Good Living Alaska. Bye.
Bye.